Over the last 2 years, I have been making a very concerted effort to buy less and buy better because I am just simply tired of buying shit that I don't love, don't use, and don't care about. And I know that so many of you watching this video feel the same. So today, I am going to elaborate a little bit on my buying less and buying better philosophy and share practical ways that I've been implementing this into my life. There's a lot of personal finance jargon on the internet, but here at Break Your Budget, we cut through the crap and focus on getting the basics right. If you have been in the personal finance social media sphere over the last couple of months, you may have come across a newer creator. Her name is Mia McGrath. She has coined the term frugal chic, and I have never resonated with something more than that term. I think it's amazing. She has done such a great job giving a name to in branding what I feel like I've been doing over the last couple of years, which is this buying less and buying better philosophy. She did a whole video where she explains what frugal chic means to her. I'll make sure that it's linked because I definitely recommend that you check it out and check out her page in general. To me, buying less and buying better means becoming more thoughtful and more intentional around the things that I am bringing into my life. It really means curating a life in a physical environment where my day to day feels elevated, where I'm striking the balance between intentionally splurging on like life's little luxuries while also saving and investing for my future. I think whether we call it buying less or buying better or frugal chic or what my friend Christina calls minimalist ish, all of which are amazing philosophies and very similar in and of itself, what this really represents is a bigger and broader movement of the general consumer who wants to become more intentional about how they're using their money. Social media has created this wave of overconsumption. And I think what we're all collectively starting to realize is that more stuff isn't really making anyone happier. And since everything is becoming significantly more expensive, really what's happening is we're just flushing money down the toilet on pointless shit that we don't need. And so, if you are a follower of this channel, a member of the Buying Less, Buying Better movement, then you have probably started to rethink your relationship with shopping and spending. And I've created tons of videos this year where I talk about this philosophy in detail. But what I'm going to do today is really elaborate on what buying less and buying better means to me and how I'm practically implementing it. The entire premise behind buying less and buying better is to really highlight that you can build wealth while still thoughtfully and intentionally splurging on the things that you love and value. I have three sort of pillars of my buying less and buying better philosophy. So I'm going to explain those in detail, and I would love to hear from you if there is something that resonates with you or if you have a viewpoint around buying less and buying better that maybe I didn't touch on. So with that, let's get into it. First thing that I think of when I think of the term buying less and buying better is focusing on quality first with a minimalist mindset. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a minimalist because I definitely am not, but I'm really starting to embrace some of the practices of minimalism, particularly when it comes to my wardrobe. And my wardrobe has been a big central focus of my entire mission of buying less and buying better. So we're going to use that as the example today. When it comes to shopping and buying physical items, I really only want to be purchasing and owning things that I love and use all the time. Throughout my 20s, I found that I had a pretty limited sense of style and a pretty limited understanding of the utility of my money, specifically when it comes to my closet. So what ended up happening is I would go through phases and the pendulum would really swing from one side to the other, where I'd have periods of time where I buy absolutely nothing and really villainize shopping in general. And then it would swing to the other side where I would kind of go a little bit crazy and do lots of hauls and buy a lot of stuff at once, really only to never really wear those things or to just have stuff that was ill-fitting, that I was too lazy to return, that didn't actually add any value to my wardrobe. And so at the beginning of 2024, I really pivoted my focus towards quality in my wardrobe. And this is specifically because I felt like I kept having the same experience where I would open up my closet and I had a closet full of clothes with nothing to wear. It's actually one of the most defeating experiences as a woman because it feels like you're spending so much money on clothes only to get dressed and hate everything that you have. And as a result, you start this cycle where you go out and buy more, thinking that it's going to solve the problem when really all it does is make the problem worse. So, how I solved this was I went through a period where I did a no buy with my clothes. And I really forced myself to wear and style the clothes that I had in my closet to see what I was reaching for and wearing most frequently. If there were items that I would put on that I didn't really love, I moved them over to the side and I kept track if I ever reached for those things. And if I found that there were items that I was constantly trying on and never actually wearing in my day to day life, there generally was a reason for that. I either didn't like the way that they looked on me, I didn't feel like they matched the other clothes that I had properly. And as a result, it just didn't make sense for me to hang on to those and keep them in my closet. So after I went through that exercise, I started donating clothes and I really came up with a list of wardrobe essentials and wardrobe gaps of things that I wanted to either replace or enhance in my closet. And this has been an ongoing process. It's been now almost 2 full years, and I still don't feel like my closet is in a space where I'm 100% happy with it. But I've taken a completely different approach to shopping for my closet. And now, when I do buy clothes, I'm focused on high quality natural materials. So the clothes need to be made primarily of cotton or wool or cashmere, linen, silk, natural materials that wear better and honestly last longer. But the pieces also need to fill a distinct wardrobe gap. And I've really started to curate the aesthetic of what my wardrobe is going to look like through spending a lot of time on Pinterest and really finding creators whose style I resonate with to use as inspiration. What I do want to emphasize is actually two things here. First, that buying a nicer item doesn't necessarily mean it has to be more expensive or the most expensive version of that item. I think we misassociate price with quality, and a higher price doesn't necessarily mean higher quality. So when I'm evaluating my clothing purchases, I'm really looking at the materials first. I do actually have a video about this. I'll make sure it's linked up on the screen. I also really want to emphasize that this conversation isn't just about clothes. It can really span your entire space. So, your home items, your kitchenware, your medicine cabinet, your beauty and hygiene products. What you need to do, and you can do this by pillar, like it doesn't have to be your entire apartment or your entire home all at once. Like I started focusing on my wardrobe first, then my kitchen. Now I'm kind of looking at my beauty stuff too. What you need to do is you need to look at the items in each of these spaces. And really get honest with yourself and start identifying what are you actually using? What are you reaching for most frequently? What products or clothes are working for you the best? And what things have found their way into the darkest depths of your closet or the drawers underneath the cabinets in your bathroom that you're not actually using? When I'm really thinking about this minimalist mindset, it means to me to curate a space only with items that I actually use. So I don't want to have drawers and drawers of products or, drawers and drawers of clothes that I'm not reaching for and wearing on a regular basis. We've normalized excess to a point where it's normal to have junk drawers in your house or to have half used bottles of products or clothes that you only wear once. And well, we've been desensitized to this. So it's not necessarily anyone's individual fault. And it's also not your fault if this is something that you're currently experiencing. It is your responsibility to take control of it and to make those changes. And so I do think that this buying less and buying better movement is going to spur more healthy consumption habits going forward when you really think about embracing a minimalist mindset and only bringing things into your space you truly love and truly use. The second layer here of buying less and buying better to me means investing in the little everyday luxuries that enhance my day to day life. To piggyback off of the first one, part of downsizing and embracing this minimalist ish kind of life is to create space for the things that I truly love. And this means, in some instances, spending a little bit of extra money to buy a higher quality or nicer product that I use all the time. The first goal of this is to extend the life cycle of the things that I use most frequently. So, this is really more related to the clothes that I'm wearing, the kitchen items that I own, the stuff that I'm using in my day to day life all the time. But the second layer of this is that sometimes, and not always, but sometimes, there is a nicer version of something and it just feels better, thus enhancing the experience of using it. A mindset that I really discovered through my time of living in California is that you can live a life that feels like a vacation that you actually enjoy every single day. I grew up on the East Coast, and I feel like part of the mindset and the mentality of people on the East Coast, particularly in New England, is that you exist in this day-to-day scrum, and then a couple of times a year you take a vacation from your life. And that vacation is like your opportunity to enjoy your life and have a really great time before you come back to real life and get into the day-to-day scrum. And when I lived in LA, I genuinely never felt like I needed to go on a vacation because I was doing things on a daily basis that really did enhance my life. And I don't live there anymore, and I don't know if I ever will live there again. And so I have really tried to take that mindset and bring it with me to this different chapter of my life. And I want to carry it with me through all of the cities and all of the places that I live in. Part of this really ties back to curating an environment and curating a day to day life and routine that makes you almost feel like you're on vacation, or create a life where you don't feel like you need to take a vacation from it. And there are little things that I feel like we do on vacation or in preparation for vacation that's different than how we exist on the daily. And my big question is why? Why are we not treating every day of our life as this special period of time and instead only saving it for a couple of weeks out of the year? When I think about how I want to turn my life into a daily vacation, part of that means making some small changes to my daily routines and the things that I'm using again all the time. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times in this video. I have a couple examples here of some investments and upgrades that I've made. So, first is my bed and like my sleep setup. I invested in a really nice mattress, a really nice bed frame. I have high quality cotton sheets and a really nice duvet and super nice pillows. And this makes it feel like I'm sleeping in a hotel or on a hotel bed every night of my life. Sleeping in a hotel hits different, especially when it's a really nice hotel. So why not bring that experience into my home and into the bed that I'm sleeping on every night? Next is my at home coffee setup. I am someone who really appreciates the simple pleasure of having a really nice coffee every day. It does truly make or break my day. And so I've invested in a nice espresso machine. I buy nice beans. I actually order them from my favorite coffee shop in LA. It's called Cafe Lux. I spend a little bit extra on them compared to if I were to just buy beans from a coffee shop or a grocery store here. And what I'm able to do is create the perfect cup of coffee every day, but also really romanticize and ritualize that routine as part of my morning, which is something that I would do when I'm on vacation. Why not embrace that mentality into the routines that I'm doing on the daily? And part of that for me is having a lovely cup of coffee, maybe sitting on the balcony or sitting on my couch and just enjoying the experience. Another example is really having nice luxury bath products and body care products that smell really good. So if you go into my bathroom, I have nice shampoo, I have nice conditioner, I have Aesop soap because I want to have a spa like bathroom again that feels like a hotel bathroom and feels really luxurious. I'm in the shower every day. I'm washing my hands all day long. So why not have nice products that again enhance that day-to-day experience? It really does make a difference. And this is something that I never used to value. If you told me that I'd be spending $40 or $50 on soap, I'd have told you you're crazy. But I can confirm through using it that when you have nice products, the way that you move through life just shifts a little bit. And the last layer of this is having nice clothes. And I feel like I've talked about clothes a lot in the first part of this video, but what I've really discovered through upgrading my wardrobe and finding clothes that fit me that I feel really confident in is that I show up differently when I like the way that I look. And a big layer of liking the way that you look is liking the clothes that you're putting on your body. I never used to care about this. I kind of used to just sit around in athletic clothes all day. Like I'd go on a walk and I never really changed into like day clothes. And the athletic clothes I did have were kind of dingy. And so over again, the last year and a half, I've started to upgrade my athleisure wardrobe. I have some nice matching sweats. I have nice day clothes that I wear and rewear often. And I've figured out my outfit formulas. So even if I'm lounging around, I'm still in some sort of coordinated set or matching set. So I feel elevated. This makes such a difference. Again, when we're we're thinking about this vacation mindset, when I'm thinking about going on vacation, like I'm making sure that I have my coordinated outfits and that everything matches and that I'm liking the things that I'm bringing. So, why was I not doing that in the past in my everyday life? Now that I've started to do it, I'm like, okay, every day is special. Every day can be or feel like I'm on vacation. And every day I can feel and look and dress my best. I challenge you to really think about the elements of going on a nice vacation that you truly enjoy. Obviously, aside from the not working part, because all of us, myself included, need to work. But there are other small little things that you do on vacation that might feel a little bit more special that you really can bring home. Think about what those are for you, and then think about ways that you can bring those into your day to day life a little bit more permanently. The last layer of my buying less and buying better philosophy is really aligning my financial strategy and my financial decisions with the long term vision and goals that I have for my life. The goal is to make sure that the things that I do buy and the decisions that I do make are aligned with how I want my life to look in the future. For me, I have a couple of key values that are the most important to me, and there are always elements of this that could change. In order to do this, you do really need to get clear on your value system and what's most important to you. And obviously, as you move through life, this is going to shift and change. But from a high level, what do you want out of your life? And what are the things that you personally value the most? I never want to feel like I'm stuck on a certain path. I always want to be able to change my mind and do something different. First and foremost is I want to make sure that I foster a life where I have flexibility in my day-to-day decision making. I never want to feel like I'm stuck on a certain path. I always want to be able to change my mind and do something different. Second, I really value comfort and having comfortable, nice experiences. This means sometimes I spend a little bit extra to choose my seat on a plane, or, I'm spending extra to check my bag so I don't have to carry it, or maybe I'm getting an Uber Black, or I'm buying really nice bath products so that my bathroom feels like a spa. These are things that are important to me because they enhance the experience of the mundane. And my last major value is becoming work optional and really having the flexibility and choice around what I do to work and how I earn my money. Because I value these things, I have built financial systems that really enhance and allow me to accomplish them. So, what does this mean? First is that I've created routines for tracking and managing my money so that I don't spend beyond my means. I have a weekly money routine and a monthly money routine. I make videos about what these look like all the time. So I'll make sure one of them is linked up on the screen. But these routines keep me on track financially, so I'm not buying things that I can't truly afford. The other layer of this is that I control my lifestyle decisions based off of what I need in the phase of life I'm currently in. So, for example, my rent and choosing to rent a smaller apartment because right now it's just me, or my car and choosing to not take my car to Chicago and pay for parking and insurance because I wouldn't be driving it enough. It also is related to my decision to not purchase a home right now because I don't want to overinflate my expenses unnecessarily. In order to maximize these early years of my career where I'm in a phase where I'm earning a lot, I've decided to make these intentional lifestyle decisions because I have a strong budget that I track and manage on a regular basis. And as a result, I can maximize my savings and investments, which are aligned with this long term vision that I have for my life. One of my personal biggest fears is feeling stuck and feeling like I can't make the decisions that I want to make because I'm stuck in a job or I can't afford it. And because I've identified this and I've really identified what my values look like, I've been able to build a life around those values that will get me closer to the life that I truly want. Overall, I think a lot of us women in the online finance space have pretty similar philosophies. We all want to embrace and enjoy our everyday lives and have nice things without being shamed for it. But at the same time, we want to be intentional and thoughtful about how we're using our money so that we can be building wealth and thinking about our future selves. I definitely recommend checking out Mia, who I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and also my friend Christina, who really talks about becoming what she calls minimalist-ish. She was also on my podcast, so I think that would be a great listen as well. If any aspect of this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And as always, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one.